Welcome to a midweek market brief special. I'm Caroline Woods and I'm joined by Nela Richardson, investment strategist at Edward Jones. So Nela, to start, I'd love for you to help us make sense of this market and some of these wild price swings that we've seen. Does any of this suggest a bottom to you yet?
Caroline, I think we're a bit a ways from a bottom, and I'll tell you why. Most of the data that we have about the economy is still backward looking. Now, we have the most real time data available, which is jobless claims, and what we've seen in terms of the labor market effect of the efforts to contain this virus by basically shutting down businesses has been extreme and unprecedented. Just to give you a data point, in 2008, it took the economy 28 weeks to reach 10 million people filing for unemployment benefits. We reached that same number, 10 million claims, in the past 2 weeks. We've seen unemployment even in March skyrocket. So, we're still at the early innings in terms of looking at the data of this. Much of it's priced out in the markets already, but we don't know how much is priced or how bad things are going to get from here.
Yeah, so I guess what matters to this market at this point, because as you said, so much of the economic data is backward looking. Even upcoming earnings that we will be seeing won't be reflecting the full impact of the coronavirus. So what will you be tracking to get a better sense of where we're going?
We're tracking four key things. And I think one, it's important to understand that initial conditions matter a lot here. The economy wasn't broken going into this pandemic. In fact, we saw some really good signs like healthy bank balance sheets. We saw healthy consumers, healthy savings rates. And that's going to be important not for the pain that will come, but for the recovery that we think will be on the other side of that pain, because this is going to be what we think a temporary but significant decline in economic activity. We're looking for the strength of fiscal and monetary stimulus. We saw that the Federal Reserve was very aggressive in providing broad-based benefits to keep the credit flowing from banks to consumers and businesses. That's going to be key. We're going to see how the fiscal side of that really helps small businesses retain their employees. And finally, we have to get news on corporate earnings. Now, look, markets are not going to say first quarter earnings mean a lot. We know that they're going to be lower, but not fully capture the reality of how we're all living now. But at some point, the markets are not going to just look at today. They want to look at next year and how quickly banks, small businesses, every sector can recover from this pandemic. And so that forward guidance will be really critical as we look out over the next couple of quarters.